Welcome to the Jones Life Stories, where we uncover tales of ordinary people facing extraordinary challenges, rising above doubt and judgment to reveal the strength within. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button now, because today's story will grip your heart and inspire you to face your own storms with courage. Picture this: you're 30,000 feet above the earth, the hum of the plane lulling you into a false sense of security, when suddenly, turbulence hits like a sledgehammer. Screams echo, oxygen masks drop, and chaos erupts. In the middle of it all, one woman, a nobody in a wrinkled hoodie, stands up to save 216 lives. This is the story of Rachel, the hidden hero of Flight 472, a tale that reminds us, never judge someone by their appearance, because the quietest souls often carry the loudest strength. Stay with us, because by the end, you'll be motivated to tap into your own resilience. Like, share, and subscribe to the Jones Life Stories to keep these inspiring stories coming. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below, and let's dive into this journey together. It was a crisp autumn morning at JFK International Airport, the terminal a chaotic symphony of rolling suitcases, hurried footsteps, and the metallic drone of boarding announcements. Among the crowd moved Rachel, a woman in her mid-40s, unremarkable at first glance. Her black hair hung loose, slightly tangled, brushing the shoulders of a faded gray hoodie that bore the wrinkles of countless journeys. She clutched a small fabric tote, its edges frayed, the kind you'd find in a thrift store bin, unassuming but sturdy. Her thin-rimmed glasses sat low on her nose, and her sneakers, peeling at the toes, carry the scuffs of miles walked through places most passengers on Flight 472 to Tokyo could only imagine. Rachel moved with quiet purpose, her eyes scanning the gate without lingering, as if she were both present and somewhere else entirely. She boarded without a word, settling into seat 9A, a window spot in economy, her tote resting on her lap like a shield. Outside, the tarmac gleamed under the morning sun, planes taxiing like giant birds, their engines a low growl. Rachel's hand stayed still, her gaze fixed on the horizon, as if she could hear something in the distance, something no one else noticed. The cabin of Flight 472 buzzed with the usual pre-flight energy. In seat 9 besat Marcus, a 23-year-old with a neon green tracksuit that screamed confidence, his gold-accented sneakers catching the cabin light. He bobbed his head to a hip-hop beat through his AirPods, his vibe all swagger, unbothered by the world. Across the aisle in 9C was his friend Jamal, his gelled hair spiked just right, a gold chain glinting as he laughed at a meme on his phone. In row 11, Elena, a sharp-dressed executive in her 50s, sat rigid, her tailored suit a stark contrast to the economy-class chaos. Her red nails tapped her phone as she barked orders about a merger, her voice cutting through the hum. "Make it happen, or heads will roll." She hung up, rolling her eyes at the indignity of her seat. In row 8, Mrs. Hargrove, a middle-aged woman in a bright pink cardigan, chatted loudly with her husband, Harold, who nodded absently over a golf magazine. "Can you believe these peanut prices?" she huffed, her voice carrying like a megaphone. In row 10, Sarah, a young mother, cradled her toddler, Timmy, who clutched a toy plane, his wide eyes darting around. Sarah whispered stories of sky adventures, her exhaustion softened by hope. Mr. Patel, a businessman in row 12A, typed furiously on his laptop, his crisp white shirt and loosened tie marking him as a man chasing deals across continents. Scattered around were others: Alex, a teen in a hoodie, scrolling TikTok; Mia, a college student with a stuffed backpack; and Mr. Wilkins, an older man with gnarled hands and a patched jacket, reading a worn paperback. As the plane climbed into the sky, the cabin settled into a familiar rhythm. Flight attendants like Cindy, with tight blonde curls and a practiced smile, moved through the aisles offering drinks. "Coffee or tea?" she asked Rachel, who declined softly. "No, thank you." Marcus glanced over, smirking. "You look like you need a pick-me-up, lady." "Rough night." Rachel didn't respond, adjusting her glasses and gazing at the clouds, now tinged with gray. Hours passed, the in-flight movie, an action flick, playing to a half-attentive audience. Rachel ignored it, her fingers occasionally tracing her tote's edge, her stillness almost unnerving. Then, without warning, the plane hit turbulence. Not a gentle rattle, but a violent shudder that shook trays and sent a collective gasp through the cabin. The seatbelt sign dinged, and Cindy's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've hit some turbulence. Please remain seated." Rachel sat up, her eyes narrowing at the darkening clouds outside, murmuring, "Pressure's dropping." She caught Cindy's arm as she passed. "Is the pressure dropping?" she asked quietly, her tone steady but urgent. Cindy's smile tightened. "Ma'am, please stay seated. Let the professionals handle it." Marcus scoffed. "She probably thinks she's a secret pilot or something." Jamal laughed. "Yeah, what's she gonna do? Fly us to Narnia?" The turbulence worsened, the plane lurching with a groan that echoed like metal under strain. Passengers gripped armrests, eyes darting to windows where storm clouds churned, angry and vast. Timmy cried, "Mommy, are we falling?" Sarah hugged him, whispering, "Just a bumpy ride, baby." Rachel remained calm, her glasses catching the flickering cabin lights, hands steady on her tote. Elena leaned forward, her voice sharp. "Excuse me, miss, but this isn't your moment. Some of us paid for these seats to feel safe, not to watch you play expert." Nods rippled nearby, fear masked as judgment. Rachel's fingers paused on her tote, then adjusted her glasses slowly, deliberately, her silence heavier than the shaking plane. Cindy hurried by, her smile gone, worry etching her face. "Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. You're making people nervous with that talk." Rachel met her gaze, unflinching. "I'm not the one shaking the plane," she said, her voice low, factual. Cindy blinked, muttered about passengers who think they're experts, and moved on. Mrs. Hargrove leaned forward, her tone saccharine. "Honey, you're meddling too much. Just let the crew do their job. Nobody needs a wannabe hero in row 9. Harold nodded, eyeing Rachel's faded jeans. "No offense, but you don't look like you belong up front." The cabin stared, whispers turning to laughter. Rachel adjusted her glasses, fingers deliberate, as if counting breaths. The plane shuddered harder, lights flickered, panic buzzing like static. Mr. Patel stood, face flushed. "Hey, you. Stop acting like you know something. You're freaking people out." Sarah, clutching Timmy, looked torn, her hope clashing with the crowd's judgment. Rachel's hands tightened briefly on her tote, then relaxed. She met Mr. Patel's gaze, then turned back to the window, where gray and black clouds raged. Marcus leaned closer, smirking. "What? You gonna fix the weather too?" "Chill out, hoodie girl." Jamal chimed in. "Bet she's a conspiracy nut, thinks the plane's haunted or some crap." Laughter cut through the engine hum, sharp and mean. Rachel reached into her tote. Pulling out a dog-eared notebook, she flipped it open, fingers tracing pages, not reading but grounding herself. Mrs. Hargrove rolled her eyes. "Oh, great. She's got a diary. Writing her big hero speech. Let's pause for a moment of motivation on the Jones life stories. Life throws turbulence at us all, moments when doubt and judgment crash in. But like Rachel, you have strength others can't see. Don't let their words define you. Your actions do. If this story's hitting home, smash that like button, share it with someone facing their own storm, and subscribe to the Jones Life Stories for more tales that remind you you're stronger than you know. The plane shook violently again, oxygen masks dropping in the back rows. Screams filled the air, passengers fumbling with masks, some frozen in shock. Mr. Patel boomed. "This is ridiculous. Why is she sitting there like she's got answers? Get her out before she makes it worse." Glares turned to Rachel, who sat calm, jaw tight, holding back her own storm. The cockpit door swung open, and the co-pilot, tall, buzz-cut, jaw clenched, scanned the cabin. "We need someone with navigation training. Military experience, even basic. Please identify yourself." Silence fell, broken only by engine hum and Timmy sobs. Cindy pointed at Rachel. She mentioned depressurization, row 9A. Elena leaned out, her diamond earrings glinting. "You're trusting her? She doesn't even look like she can afford this flight." Laughter followed, cold and biting. Rachel stood, toed over shoulder, heading to the cockpit. The co-pilot nodded, but Elena hissed, "This is a mistake. You're risking us all for a nobody." Rachel paused, hand on a seat, then continued, step steady. The co-pilot asked, "Ma'am, studied aviation?" Rachel, Altimeter's drifting by 4 degrees, isn't it? He nodded, stunned. Come with me. Mr. Thornton, an executive with slick-back hair and an expensive watch, stood blocking her. Hold on. You can't let her in there. She looks homeless. The plane shook. Bins rattled. He stood firm. This is serious. You need a professional, not a nobody in a hoodie. Cindy. Sir, she's cleared for technical support. Thornton sneered. Technical support? Her. Rachel stopped, eyes steady. You just lost 2 minutes to prejudice. That's long enough to lose a wing. Thornton froze. She stepped past, Taupe brushing his arm. Alex mocked. Yo, she's gonna crash US. No clue. His friend filmed, laughter spreading. Rachel didn't falter, hand brushing seats as anchor. The cockpit door loomed. The plane lurched left. Screams. Co-pilot grabbed wall. Rachel stepped in, door clicked shut. Inside, the captain hunched over controls, sweat slicked. Rachel, Viper 9 requesting co-navigation clearance. Captain spun. My God, only one person used that code. Night Viper 9, we thought you disappeared after Oregon. Rachel slid into the co-pilot's seat. No time. Pitch controls feeding false readings. She pointed to radar. Altitude 800 foot higher than shown. Captain nodded, stunned. Rachel recalibrated swiftly, her faded jeans and sneakers at odds with her precision. Radio crackled. No passengers handle controls. Security officer over speakers. I don't authorize someone scrubbed from defense systems. Rachel paused, met Captain's eyes. Then call rescue for bodies. Captain paled, co-pilot. I'll sign off. Let her take over. Rachel slipped on headset, adjusted controls with mechanical precision. Captain muttered, she's handling this like a combat zone. Rachel's focus stayed on screens, storm clouds looming outside. A young attendant entered. Passengers want to know who you are, they're scared. Rachel, tell them to buckle up, stay calm. Attendant nodded out. Captain. She pulled a war zone manual move. Rachel tensed slightly. In the cabin, Mr. Thornton muttered. If she messes up, who's blaming? Hedge fund guy. Nobody knows her, what if she's a hacker? Blazer woman. Heard she's scrubbed, court-martialed. Sarah whispered. What if she's our only hope? Scarf woman. Naive. Look at her clothes. Sarah saw an V patch on Rachel's tote. Rachel's voice over intercom. Passenger 9A. Prepare for controlled descent. Stay seated. Silence. Then co-pilot. I'm signing off. She's taking over. Murmurs of shock, anger. Mrs. Hargrove. They're letting her fly? Her. In cockpit. Rachel's hands steady, eyes on Kamchatka Mountains. She flipped on Echo Wave system. Captain. Echo Wave. Rachel. Only system not lying. Beep sounded. She adjusted dial precisely. Co-pilot. You've done this before? Silence answered. Plane dipped smoothly. Shaking stopped. Pressure normalized. Rachel threaded through clouds, mountains below. Cabin cheered as Rachel announced. Stable. Landing in 20. Captain. We owe our lives to passenger 9A. Landing smooth in Tokyo. Passengers exited, shaky relieved. Rachel last. Walking terminal. Hair swaying. Marcus. Who the hell was that? Press conference. Spokesperson. Crew handle professionally. Reporter. Woman in row 9 saved it. Who? Lucky passenger. Rachel. Halfway across airport. Mia ran after. Can people know your face? Rachel. They don't need it. They're alive. Disappeared into crowd. Lounge Elena. Anyone could have gotten lucky. Mr. Wilkins. Holding Rachel's notebook. Not luck. Military flight logs. Week later. Viral clips. Rachel in cockpit calm. Comments. Legend. Airline quiet. Medal ceremony. President. Night Viper 9. This country owes you. Rachel absent. Oregon. Rachel in garage. Oil covered. And V9 tattoo visible. Radio. President's voice. She worked on silent. Passengers remembered. Lily drew Rachel flying framed. Thornton fired. Hargrove quieted. Security reassigned. Diner. Sarah to Timmy. That's the lady who brought us home. That's Rachel's story on the Jones Life Stories. True heroes don't need spotlights. They shine in shadows. Motivation. When life shakes, your strength shines. Like, share, subscribe to the Jones Life Stories. Comment where you're watching from.